Wow, okay, that took a while. This is Alex Tomaszewska. Hey, to those of you who were trying to watch me interview Marie a while ago, we were facing some technical difficulties and it took us a while to fix them, but it's all fixed now and I'm just waiting for Marie to join me and she's going to tell us today about her journey through blogging to entrepreneurship. Yay! I'm very excited about this. Marie is pretty amazing and she's got a lot of energy, and as you will just see in a second. So Marie, if you could join us, I think I can now add you here. Marie, just bear with me a second. You've been so patient, guys. Okay, you have been invited. Perfect. Brilliant, brilliant. So we're waiting for Marie to join us. Hopefully, no issues there. See, the thing is, it's really difficult to test it differently. So, hi guys. Okay, brilliant. Marie, you're there. You should be able to join us, and we should be able to start just in a second, right? If you have any issues, let me know. Because I cannot invite you again, really. And this is going to be awesome, really. Yes, thank you for the hearts. Right, there we go. Thank you for waiting. Thank you for being so patient. Um, every time Facebook Live surprises me with something else.
Hi.
Oh, there you go. Wow. And wow, brilliant.
We made it.
We made it, we did it, right. And now we know a little bit more about Facebook Live. So,
Yes.
You know,
We can tell everyone about it.
brilliant. Fantastic to see you here. I'm so glad we met. And even though you have befriended me, but on a disabled, I don't know how we did that. I don't know how we managed to get to know each other, but I'm very happy that we did.
Me too. Me too. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I'm very excited to hear your story. I mean, I've heard your story, but people would, I think they will love your story and love your energy. So this is how I would marketing the event with your energy, and we can see your lovely smile. It's absolutely brilliant. 8 p.m. in here, but I am still, still there.
You're still rocking and rolling.
I'm after a Facebook fight.
I'm usually sleeping by then.
Oh no, come on, I sleep at 9. Okay, right, awesome. So first question, what was supposed to be the first question? I guess, well, let us know what you do right now. What is your business?
My business, yes, absolutely. So my business is an organizing blog. So I blog about decluttering and getting your homes organized so you can live in a home that makes you happy.
That is amazing. Decluttering. Wow.
Yes.
So does that include your house or also like your spiritual life, or do they like kind of intersect?
You know,
together?
They do intersect. Now I primarily focus on just the home, but you'll realize when you start going through the process, if you've got a home that needs to be organized and decluttered, you'll realize the spiritual side and the clarity that comes along with that, because they do tie hand in hand with one another. When you start getting rid of stuff, you start giving yourself more freedom, and it's just amazing the transformation that happens.
Right, and like we hold on to old stuff, to things that we have for no reason.
Oh yeah.
And I am a mindset coach, and we do the same thing in our heads, and it's a very vicious circle. Like you never want to leave this circle. You don't want to get rid of all your old shoes,
right?
Oh, jeans. You never get rid of jeans.
Well, there's this connection that you have, and there's this fear of like, well, what if I need to use this, or what if I need to wear this, or that sort of thing. And it's something that people just tend to the mailman, sorry about that. We tend to
big dog.
it's a big dog, Sorry about that. Yes. All right. All right.
That's what you get, guys, when you're
Sorry.
work with a team entrepreneur. I have a dog too. Unfortunately, he's not barking,
Well,
but
and
you can, you know,
of
just put
course,
him
I
up
know.
in there.
And the mailman came. So yeah, I lost my train of thought. But back to what it was is that, we hang on to things because of this what if scenario. What if I might need this or that? And it is hard. I mean, I've personally done it and you struggle with it. And I think what happens is that society has gotten us to like a lot of these like weather things that take place, whether it's like these storms or hurricanes and all this stuff where you have to be prepared and you need this and you need that. It's created this like anxiety thing where we're just accustomed to like, well, we might need this, but, and it's, they've interlapped each other where we're terrified of getting rid of something because we might need it because we've been conditioned to it from something else. So
from our parents, for example, like my parents, they had to buy a bigger house just to hold all the stuff that they're never gonna use.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. Yeah. So, the first step really when it comes down to a lot of this is decluttering and getting rid of that stuff. And it brings you clarity and it brings you so much freedom. And sometimes you're not even aware of it. I mean, I didn't even realize that I had stuff, like I had it organized, but then I started going through it and I'm like, I really don't need all of this. Like they're nice and organized and it took up like space. And it's amazing when you just get rid of it with the stuff that you're not using because it's just been sitting there and life happens and you get rid of it and it's like you lift this weight off your shoulders. It's like this amazing transformation.
Right. So, okay. So while we're on that, so I have a question. Is there a kind of a tipping point when this happens and suddenly one day you say, okay, I'm going to get rid of my stuff. So does usually something happen over there? Is it like a life-changing event? Something happens?
There's a couple things that come to it. Yes, one, it gets to the point where, you do hit that breaking point where it's like, all right, I've had enough. I had this with the toys that were around here. It's like, okay, enough. We've got toys exploding everywhere. And if you don't manage them, it becomes overwhelming. So that's the first step is usually that there is a breaking point. There's somewhere that can happen at any point in the year. And then the other one is usually the beginning of the year and the school calendar year is where people are getting their minds changed and reset and are like, all right, I'm going to get organized because it's the beginning of the year or when school comes again, because that's when new routines and things like that start taking shape. And that's when they tend to have that trigger moment that inspires them to get organized.
That's actually pretty clever. So you're kind of piggyback riding on an event that's already happening.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because you can do the same thing when you're procrastinating. And I was talking about it a couple of weeks ago. So you just use an event that already exists and you do the thing that you were supposed to do.
Right.
Well,
exactly.
This one is a little bigger, I guess.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
And it's a very fascinating topic because most people have an issue with the clutter. It just it just comes in your life and then it stays. And it's not like it comes in suddenly. It comes unnoticed. It cripples up on you, and then and then suddenly you realize it's there.
Right, and yeah, that's exactly what happens. It's just getting the mail and coming inside and getting sidetracked and doing something else. And before you know it, things start piling up and it's natural. It's who we are. And it's hard. You have to be mindful of what you allow in your house. And it's really changing your mindset of, okay, I'm bringing something in, what needs to go out. I mean, even when you're going grocery shopping, you're still bringing stuff in. It's like, okay, being mindful of what you're taking into your house because it is so easy for it just to get filled up. And before you know it, you have a house full of stuff and then all it's doing is bringing you stress. And that's not fun because when you're stressed, a lot of other things take you down a different path where you're eating unhealthy, you're not sleeping right, you're more irritable, all sorts of things. And they pile up.
They do, but so you said you mentioned an important rule that I never think of. No, nobody thinks that way, I guess. I mean, not a lot of people.
Right? No.
when you bring stuff in, you need to bring something out.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very interesting approach.
Yeah, absolutely. It trains you into keeping stuff in your house that you only need. If you go shopping, make it a rule that, all right, I bought 3 new shirts today. Okay, when you get in your closet, get rid of 3 shirts. What we also do actually here at our house is right outside in the garage, there is a bin, and it's colored. So it's green because you can't see inside of it. So I've purposely had it colored, and labeled on top of it says donate with the lid on top of it. And so I have it there because of the kids, because if it was a clear bin and if it was an open top, the kids could see what's in there. So what I do is I'll go through, and if I'm like, they haven't played in this toy forever, I'll just take it and I'll put it in there, because it's hard to want to go to donate something if you just like found one toy. You want to build up that momentum. So that's why I've had like that bin there, but I keep it shut so they can't see what's in there. And then when it gets full, just pop it in the back of the car and head on over to Goodwill and get rid of it.
Wow, that is so thoughtful. Oh my God, that is so thoughtful. I need to start thinking that way. And I also see so many connections. If you're able to do it at home, you can do it
Mm-hmm.
with your business and with your own head, and it's all
Mm-hmm.
interconnected. So
Well, yeah.
whichever comes first, whichever is easier for you, then you can start doing that, and then do the same thing in the other area
Right.
of your life. How clever is that?
Yeah, it's great. And even it works, in terms of like, I like doing the color bin, like I said, because it blocks the kids from seeing it, but it works for yourself too, because even if you get rid of something, you're not going to see it and you will not remember that it's in there. I swear to you, you'll put it in there. And when you don't see it, because that it's a colored bin, it makes a difference. And then all of a sudden you go donate it and you're like, oh yeah, I totally forgot I threw that in there, because it's gone and you don't see it. Out of sight, out of mind. And that's what works really well with that technique.
Maria, that was amazing. You know what? We need to start talking about your business. You just got me so interested about the whole process. I think we might want to do another live on just decluttering, because it's also connected to what
Yeah.
I do here. So
Yes,
that would be
yes,
fantastic.
yes, yes.
Guys, if you enjoyed that, if you enjoyed the part on decluttering, let us know in the comments if you want to see more on this, and I will be asking Marie to join us again, and hopefully she's going to agree, and let us know if that was if that was something that you could use at your home, decluttering, or at your business. Let's talk about the business. So
Yes.
my first question would be about your journey. So
Mm-hmm.
what were you doing before you even started blogging?
So before I started blogging, I was working in the corporate America space doing territory management for companies. We did some stints out on the East Coast in some various cities, and then moved out to the West Coast and did the same type of thing out there. So it was just basically account management for corporate corporate sales. And then while I was doing that, it wasn't really until things started to change after having our first child, where I wanted to have something that I was getting a little bit more meaning. So it's like I had this great job, but it wasn't fulfilling. And it's not fun when you're doing work that just doesn't give you any type of fulfillment. I mean, yeah, you're able to have these wins and you close these accounts, and sure, that's fun, but there was something that was missing. There wasn't like, I felt like I was really making an impact or helping people out. And organizing has always been my passion. I've just loved it. And I wanted to do something with it, but trying to figure out how to be a mom and work full time and still keep things going. What was the best way to do this? And I realized that starting a blog would be the easiest way to go about it. Now, in terms of growing the blog, it's certainly not the easiest way, but in terms of me getting the content out there and what I wanted to do, you can write a post anywhere. Even if you're right in the car, you can be typing up things like that. And so that's where it kind of all
Oh,
began.
you can't stop in the car. Stop saying this. No,
Well,
don't listen. Don't listen.
no.
Do that.
No, not while I'm driving. I'm saying as I'm the passenger. As I'm the passenger.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm glad we
no.
had that.
I'm not blogging while I'm driving. Oh God, no.
Like blogging with your feet,
Yeah, right.
Okay, so when you're a passenger, you can do that. Makes
Yes,
sense. Yeah.
yes.
So that, and it's also, you must be very well organized, because that's a very good use of time, really. When you're
Mm-hmm.
driving, usually people don't do anything. It's like usually it's a waste of time, basically,
Right.
for most of
Yeah.
us.
So it's the great place because even it's hard to even do like a video or anything like that if you're traveling in the car, especially with kids. If you've got kids, you know that they're constantly making noise. And so it's easier to type, and we've got the phone that have the apps, and that makes things easier. So that was just the easiest way in terms of writing. And that's kind of where I got all started with putting Organized Marie together.
Mm-hmm. Right. So the blog name is Organized Marie, and you will
Yep.
find Marie on Instagram,
Yes.
on Facebook, on in her site, and it's all
Mm-hmm.
called Organized Marie. So it's easy to find in case you want to see how you can declutter your house and contact Marie.
Yes.
Right. So you started blogging, and
Mm-hmm.
then what happened? Something changed, and you added. Did you have like a service? I think you mentioned that you were thinking of having a service for people where you come to their house as well, and you declutter it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I did do that, going to someone's house and help them organize. And there wasn't after I did it, I mean, it was great and all, but there wasn't another fulfillment feeling there, because I'm going to leave and I don't know if she's going to maintain that or not. And that was the hardest part. And that's where people fail, is because they don't end up maintaining it. So that's where I also felt like there was a disconnect, because I'm like, if I wanted to go into people's homes and organize them, I'm doing it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to stay that way. So I didn't
It
want to
wants
be,
to stay.
yeah, and I didn't want to be setting up people for, failure in that sense. So that's what was also nice about the blog, is that I'm able to teach it, because I can teach it to other people, and where they can train and learn those skills and become better at that, because that's really what it's about. It's about the transformation with yourself and becoming better at getting yourself organized, or learning to declutter, or how to get rid of the hard things. And that's what my entire goal and premise was. So that's why I continued down the path of blogging.
Right. So you feel like education is worth more here because people will then be able to sustain this
Mm-hmm.
status, as opposed to just having like one single shot
Right.
where it's like an event to go to. You get all energetic, energized during the event. The energy lasts for a couple of
Yes.
weeks, but then
Yes.
you're
Yes.
off the rack.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well that must have been hard for you, like saying, let me clean your house, but then, you're just gonna mess it up when I leave, aren't you?
Yeah, it was one of those, it was like a love-hate thing. You're like, oh, I love everything that we just did, but I'm like, I don't know if it's going to continue to work out this way or not, and yeah, so it was a hard, transition realization to make, but then I realized just with the blogging, I'd be able to teach it easier and faster that way as well.
Right, right. Hey, Arek, thank you. Say hi to Puskar, that's my friend and his dog, just
Oh.
commenting. Okay, so this year
Mm-hmm.
you decided to take a leap.
Mm-hmm.
Something, I don't remember if something happened, but you're making this big change in your business. Let's hear about it. What's the
Yes.
change?
Well, so this year I've decided so I've done the home challenge. And so basically I'm not doing, the biggest change of all was actually leaving the corporate world. So I'm not doing that at all anymore. Now I have my full time and attention focused on this blog and growing the blog more. So that is exactly what
Mhm.
I'm doing, because I'm also home with our kids, and our youngest one is just going to be turning 1. And I realized that, those are the moments you're not going to get back. And I wanted to
Mhm.
savor this with the last one that we have, because she's going to be our last one, and wanted to enjoy that. So those were really the two biggest changes, is, taking the step away from the corporate world and being home, and then now figuring out how to manage all of that with the blog and being a mom and doing all those sorts of things.
Mhm. Mhm. Right. So when did you quit your corporate job? Like for
In
good?
September of
Awesome. Awesome.
yeah, of last year, end of September last year.
And so the plan was to just make the blog a full-time business and
Yep.
and
Yep.
to stay there, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Right.
So yeah, that's why. So now I'm working on the challenge. We're almost done with this home challenge. So it's the second year we've done the home challenge. It's a 12-week challenge where we
Can
take
you
an
tell
area.
us about
Yeah,
the home challenge?
yeah, absolutely. So it's a 12-week challenge. So it sounds long when you say 12-week, but when you break it up, you're just doing an area of your home week by week where you declutter it and you get it organized. And so basically what the home challenge does is it walks you through steps how to do it. There's a free checklist for every area of the home that we capture, so you can get that gratification of checking that thing off the list and having it done. And exactly. And so, yeah, we're just finishing up the home challenge now. There's only 2 weeks left of it. And it's crazy. It's gone by so fast. So, when you break it down, you think 12 weeks and it sounds long, or 90 days sounds long. But when you break it down and you go back, it's like it's already done. We're basically downhill here now. So we're finishing up that home challenge. And then I'm in the middle of writing my first book. So I'm really excited about that, and that's going to incorporate a little bit of getting our homes organized, but talking about motivation and colors and textures of that nature, because a lot of people struggle with is just getting motivated to do it. So I'm doing a lot of research behind
Mm-hmm.
motivation and what makes people tick and how it can help them realize where their motivational pain points are to inspire them to get organized.
Mm-hmm. Right, awesome. So what else is in store for you for 2019? What we have now, March already. Oh my
I
God, time
know.
does fly.
I know. It's crazy. Yeah. So after this home challenge, and be working on finishing up the book here. So I'm working on finishing that up, and then like to be working on a course towards the end of the year. So it's getting ready for January of 2020. Hard to believe that I'm already saying that, but that's
Mm-hmm.
basically what's going to be in store for the remainder of the year.
Wow, okay, so you're not planning on going to people's homes. That is definitely off the grid, and
For now.
you think this is going to be a
Yeah,
course.
yeah. For now, right
Amazing.
now, I'm really going to be working on those educational materials so I can get those out to help people as much as I possibly can.
Awesome. That is fantastic. So one more thing that I wanted to ask you actually,
Hmm.
okay, how long did it take you to you started to blog, right? And then
Hmm.
it just moved on.
Hmm.
And then you decided, yeah, I'm going to do it full time.
Hmm.
Was it just the baby and the corporate world, or did you see like some potential in there? What was your like fear? Did you have any fears?
Oh
How
gosh,
did you know
yes.
that you were going to do it?
I'm sorry, how did I what?
How did you know that you were going to do it? Like, there's a day when we make the decision and we say, yeah, this is going to work.
I would say it was probably towards the end of last year. Actually, when I read, it was Brendan Burchard's book, High Performance Habits, is really what it gave me that, okay, it just gave me more of the clarity and the direction I was going. And that's what really propelled it.
Mhm.
And was like, okay, now I'm going to do this. And that's what gave me that direction. Of course, I've had fear all along. I think it's natural too. And it's about overcoming that fear and learning to live out of your comfort zone. I mean, there is no other way to grow. I've gotten to the point where I'm so comfortable being uncomfortable that it just comes like at it's like natural now. It's like, okay, well, this is gonna happen because that's the only way you're gonna grow and how you're gonna get better.
Mm-hmm. So it started with some personal growth, reading some
Yeah.
books, and getting this clarity. The
Yes.
name of the
Yes.
book is High Performance Habits by Brendan Burchard.
Yeah, it's excellent. It is excellent.
Yeah.
It can apply anywhere in life. I mean, that's the great thing about the book is that it just it doesn't it's not necessarily just a business book. Like even if you're a stay-at-home mom, it helps in terms of just giving yourself energy and clarity and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, I highly recommend it.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, I love Brendan as well. I mean, he is totally my he is totally my idol, and he has a fantastic podcast. If you haven't been
Yeah.
listening to that,
Yep.
there's a ton of a ton of stuff in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, okay, that all sounds, you're so energetic and you're so excited about it. You're at this place when you've taken a new decision, a new
Yeah.
path in your life, and
Yeah.
it's incredible. able to see that, and I'm so happy that we could share that energy with everybody here, and it's contagious. It's contagious.
Oh,
So that's what
well,
I love about energy. One last thing, I wanted to
yeah.
ask you what three words,
Mm-hmm.
like three intentions for 2019 for your business, the three most important words for
Mm-hmm.
your business. What would
Yes.
they be?
So the first one is consistency. Believe that showing up consistently matters. When you don't have consistency, it makes things so hard. And there's a great quote that I heard from John Maxwell that he said, consistency compounds. And I totally and fully firmly believe that. So showing up consistently is something for sure is the number one. The second word that I would say is focused for the year. It's very easy when you're, an entrepreneur by yourself to get sidetracked or getting even caught up in the trap of comparisons. Oh, someone started theirs after me, but their following and growth is larger than mine. And I'm not going into that tunnel again. I'm staying in my lane and staying focused on the direction that I want to have. So that focus is the second one. And then the last one is influential. And I really want to be able to influence and help others, inspire them to declutter and get their homes organized. That's really my goal on providing all the educational materials that I can, is to inspire them to declutter, transform their lives, and get it organized so they can live in a home that really makes them happy.
Beautiful. That is beautiful. And you want actually to get very good results. So
Yes,
you're going to devote almost a whole year to creating the course so that you make sure that the quality is amazing and that you get results.
exactly.
That's amazing.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for
We're going
having me.
Well, I still have no idea how we met, but
Through the worlds of the internet.
So listen, I want to wish you all the best in your
Thank you.
business.
Thank you.
We'll be in
Same to
touch,
you.
for
Absolutely. Oh yeah, we'll for sure still be in
Thank
touch.
you. I think I will want to invite you to a session on decluttering at a point in time, because we can learn a lot
Yeah,
over there.
absolutely.
We're getting some nice comments in here. Thank you guys for being with us. And one more time, Organized Marie. This is Organized Marie. You will find her on Instagram, you will find her on Facebook, and you will find her on her website, organizedmarie.com. That is right?
Yes, you got it all.
You can read the blog and start learning about decluttering.
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. It was great to have you. And guys, thank you for staying in through the technical difficulties.
Yes. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining.
Enjoy your day, everybody. You too, Marie.
Bye.
Bye.